what do we want to do on this user profile page? Well, really, the reason we're implementing it is an excuse for me to do file uploads so I can show you how easy it is to upload files and store them in Firebase. That is really the whole reason we're doing this. But we'll also let them change the display name because we know the people who sign up with the email address and password aren't privileged enough to have display names by default. So we will also allow them to do that as well. And the kind of side thing that I want to teach you as we do this is basically kind of, remember that like this.collection.doc, like basically how to start like abstracting some of that in your component to make it more workable so you don't have these like giant like pyramids of doom that start eking their way right, making you have, the moment you have to scroll left and right if your font is not size 24 like mine is, like you have a problem. So we're going to start to like break stuff out and hopefully like see some patterns for working with some of these things. Now, that is going to be a little bit of typing coming up, especially because I got to make input fields. And input fields in React just take too much work. So let's go on this journey together. So I'm going to make, I have the user profile page. Ahead of myself. This is it right now in all of its glory. It's not great. Now, I imagine on this page there's going to be an input field for the display name. There's going to be a file input for choosing a file from the file system, and then a submit button. That's kind of the UI that I'm imagining right now. Is that offensive to anyone? All right, I'm seeing nods. So I think we're all okay. We're all on board for that, which is file inputs in React. You can't actually store in state. You have to use a ref. So the only thing we're going to need to store in state is that new display name. So we'll make a display name. We'll start that off as an empty string. Awesome. And I'm going to need to hold on a reference to that image input at some point. That's not image input. So we'll define that here as null for now, and then the component mounts will go ahead and get it. All right. Cool. Now we'll have that. We'll have just like the normal handle change listener for that display input. Probably just copy and paste that from somewhere, but name and value from the event. Target. Filed under things that I should totally make a editor shortcut for. All right. And we'll do the same thing with a handle submit. Event.prevent default so that we don't accidentally dump the page. We'll grab the display name on the state. Now, if there is a display name, we want to update the user reference, right? Like go find /users/UID, and we want to go change something about it. We want to update that file, right? So before I get too carried away, one of the things that I really like to do in this case is to give myself some computed properties, so I'm not like typing too much. I can say like get UID, and this will give me an ESX computed property where I can say return auth current user UID. So now I don't think about that anymore. I'll say get user ref, and that'll return firestore.doc. Nope. Users. Just basically building off the other one. So this will get that UID shortcut from before. So it'll give me a reference there. And so I can just use these in my component and not have to think about this too much. So now I can say in here, if we have a new display name, then go ahead and just do this.userRef .update. this dot state. We could even do display name here, just in case. Because update will take anything from that object and merge it in. So I'm going to be a little bit more defensive there in case I change stuff later. All right, so these need some backticks. Thank you, Visual Studio. And now we'll simply just replace this here. And this is where the fun comes. So we'll say const display name, this dot state. All right. Grab that. We'll say on submit. This dot handle submit. Give ourselves an input. The type text. The value will be the display name. Name will be display name and on change. No. This dot handle change. And the value. Did I do the value already? Yeah, I did. Sweet. We'll give it a placeholder though. Cool.
Should we do like a catch there maybe? Catch, like what if like the database would scream at us back that something is like required or something, like the display name or.
The application will blow up right now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we should fix that. Remind me when we get back up to that handle submit that we should totally fix that. You're right. It's a good catch. We'll take that file, and this is going to need a ref and this dot image input. Is that reference? Cool. And then last thing we need to do is the submit button. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Well, it looks like that autocomplete bit me again. Nope. Cool, we'll go here. I've got this display name now. Let's try it out. Nothing changes until I refresh, and you can see the name changed.